Hi, the lads back again. We're going to look at the Coronation Cup this week, along with the Derby and the Oaks. So we'll start off then, lads, with the Coronation Cup. You've got the likes of Cracksman out for a run, Hawkville, Idaho.
Yeah, that's not a bad little field, is it, really?
It's a good lineup.
Clips of Mowers, I think, at the moment entered, but after, was it yesterday's?
Yeah.
Showing, I can't see
No, I can't see it.
So it's probably better to focus on the likes of Cracksman and that. I mean, it'd be interesting to see, well, back over on home soil, so to speak.
Can't lose that, surely.
You shouldn't.
You'd struggle to look past it.
3-1 on
really,
it, so there's no value in the price. But,
No,
you know,
no.
You look at it logically, he's won 6 out of his 8 starts. 2 of those were the last 2 Group 1 races. Obviously, you know, that was over in France, won the long shot over in France, but you know, that was that last month?
Last month.
On good ground. We'll go on heavy. I doubt we'll get heavy ground.
I think the weather's meant to be pretty nice sort of outlook for the week, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, rain now and then, but this sort of weather, it
was
suited down to the ground, wouldn't it, really?
If you look at who he beat, I mean, he's beat recently, beat Rhododendron, who was actually back in 4th on that day, was just won a Lockinge. And like won a Lockinge well, I think that's come down to my head bob, but he's won it well. You know, also won the Champion Stakes as well back in October as well, beat the likes of Poet's Word and Island Real, who also we've just watched at Sandown in the week. So, you know, we're talking, we did a poll, didn't we, if it enable Cracksman, they're the sort of 2 stand out, you know, over this sort of distance at the minute. So, and, you know, barring a miracle, we could make a case for a couple of others, but, you know, 1 to 3 I think is generous, quite frankly.
I mean, I've got Hawkville in there, so very good. Obviously, always typical Godolphin Horse goes out over to Maidan, had a very good Maidan.
Yes.
2 from 2 over Maidan, and did beat the likes of Poet's Word over there as well. So capable of beating that type.
Yeah, they were both Group 1 races as well.
Yeah.
You mentioned who just beat Poet's Word is the well-travelled Poet's Word, but the form won the Sheen run that day actually, but you can get 13-2 for Hawkville. So
you'd say he's got some ability, but
He's got plenty of
Yeah.
ability, to be fair. I mean, probably not as much as Cracksman.
no, I think he'll
that
come up
respect.
against 1 too good, but
Yeah.
you know,
You'd
again, I
expect
won't
to
be
see him
taking
in the seconds.
3 to 1 on, but maybe a forecast. I think
Possibly,
it will come down to the 2 of them.
yeah,
You've got Barsantini in there as well, haven't you? The variant at Zini horse.
Yes.
I mean, 20 to 1. If you like you say, we're gonna.
If you're looking for
you
value.
take Cracksman out of the equation because of 1 to 3 is not worth backing. You risk losing a lot of money for a minimal profit, so you start going out of the field and you look what can turn what over, relatively unexposed, probably a push to see it beat the likes because you've got Idaho in there.
Idaho won Group 3 last time out. Won it well, but I mean, this is a massive
Yeah.
step up. You know, it's never going to face something, you know, the likes of Hawkville and Cracksman.
No.
But, yeah, I think they're all up against something quite.
I think we're
extraordinary.
quite confident in saying Cracksman will.
Yeah, it's not
Get
one
that.
to lump on for the day, but you know, maybe if you
Good way
fancy
to
a
start the
forecast,
card, though, in that respect.
pick the first and a second out. But you know, so I think barring a miracle, that you know, he will be first.
Yeah.
but it'd be good to see that, wouldn't it? You know,
Oh,
it'd be
of
good to
course.
watch it.
Well,
Anyway,
it needs
you
to
know
run
what I
out. I mean,
mean?
come up when you know, obviously that's the weekend coming.
Yeah.
And that only gives them 2.5, 3 weeks
Yeah.
till Ascot. So you still need to find a bit of rhythm going into it. You still want to build momentum, so you may squeeze another run in before.
Yeah.
Whether they will or not, they probably won't need to with that.
No.
In some respect, can go there. Prince of Wales Stakes, I'm assuming, will probably be the aim. At this stage of the season already, you can't see.
I think he wins this and he's wrapped up for the next few weeks, and we'll see Ascot.
Ready for Ascot. Yeah.
As I say, I think barring a miracle.
Okay. Well, as you say, there's not a hell of a lot you can say about that when it seems like it's in the bag.
Yeah,
pretty
It
much.
should be a formality, but there's been a lot that should have been. But
Things happen.
Okay. Well,
Be amazed.
let's move on then, boys. We've got the Oaks up first. Let's run through from sort of top to bottom in the runnings at the moment. We've got Wild Illusion at 4 to 1. Then we've got Magical at 9 to 2. Forever Together at 6 to 1. Seer Class, which I think you quite like a bit of, Neil, at sort of 7s, and then same with Magical Wand at 7s. All looking at the form, all got a reasonable bit of form. A bit to say about sort of each of them and that. So, where do you want to go with this one then, lads?
yours Perfect Clarity.
I've
What
gone
do you like,
Perfect Clarity
Oh,
actually
okay.
for Clive Cox and Adam Kirby, and sorry, let me just get
Cox is on a decent bit of form.
the
as well
form.
at the
Yeah,
moment.
the reason I did, the reason I've done this,
It
he
is.
actually won the she actually won the trial for this last time at the Oaks trial, which was over a mile free, stepping up ever so slightly, but Adam Kirby actually dropped the whip a furlong out from that, and quite how he won it. He actually won it going away, so I think the extra furlong is actually going to be
beneficial.
Well, not beneficial to his advantage 100%. And as I say, he's won his last two. Only run before that was last year. That was over a mile, but won that easily enough. Stepped up to a mile free, as I said in the trial. Won that going away. I think the mile 4 is probably more ideal, and she seems like on an upward curve as well from her 2 runs. So that's where I'm going.
Yeah, I'm talking about that because you're saying 2 runs, perfect clarity, isn't it? So the one I like in that also has only had 2 runs at the moment. See a class for Haggas.
Yes.
Again,
one last time, didn't
one last time in listed company, so,
Yeah.
so you know, capable of being able to compete with those around in that sort of level. You know, it is only 2 runs compared to your likes of Magical and Wild Illusion, who are probably a little bit more. You know, Wild Illusion we know running the 1,000 Guineas, so you know they've got that sort of form behind them in that respect that they've been running in. But I do think with Sia Class, I have only seen the win that she's had, didn't see, because she was a second.
Beat
I think was
Athena.
the other one.
Yeah, that's it. I got it down here.
Yeah, it was Athena, wasn't it?
19th of May. Yeah, beat Athena by about 2 lengths.
That was the only one I watched, and she won that what seemed like going away as well on that respect. Again,
Same race, you had Crystal Song and Stream Song and Crystal Hope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cut of decence as well.
so there was
There,
a
you know.
decent, it was a decent field, but obviously not to what she's going to be running in now. We know that with the likes of Magical, Wild Illusion in, but still fairly unexposed.
It's a step up for a lot of them, but
Yeah, of course it
they're
is.
on the upward curve.
Yeah.
That's what you've got to look at. But,
Yeah. I do. Like you say, over the distance as well. I do like Haggas's chances in that. Again, you can't look past the top 2 in the betting, which are A, one's a Godolphin, and B, the other's a O'Brien. And both, you know, proven fillies in some respect. You know what I mean? So it's tough to see past them, but it will be a race that will throw something up. I don't think that them two is going to be, you know, them two running away with it in that respect.
Yeah, I think the favourite was actually behind Happily, who got beat out.
You've got the same notice as me.
No, I watched Happily yesterday.
Yeah.
Got beat out of sight over at Curragh. And there's another horse that beat it that day, Lawrence, who's running today. I don't know where.
No.
I say running today. We're filming on Sunday. Monday.
She ran yesterday on Sunday and won.
Oh.
Yes, she did. Yeah.
Won already.
Yeah, I see a bit about Twitter flying.
Had to grid it out. In the end, I
didn't
believe
see it, but
had to. I mean, only won by, I think, a head, something like that. But did prove her worth from winning the Guineas, the 1,000 Guineas, to go on to go and win over in France. Okay, had to grit this one out. Didn't have to run in the race completely, but when found a gap, it just showed. You know, it backed up a lot of these going into the race's form. That the winner of the Guineas then goes on to win over in France. So you've got to look at, in some respect, you know, who pushed her in the 1,000 Guineas. Well, no one really, but who was closer, because that's the form you look into going into that. If the winner of the 1,000 Guineas then goes on to win a decent race over in France, you go, well, everything behind it has got a big chance of winning a good race this year. So you can't knock Wild Illusion on that front. You know, it's 4th, like you say, 4th in the Guineas. It kind of stands in good form now. Lawrence has gone and won again. So.
Yeah. But again, let us know who you're
Yeah,
picking.
give us
We've got
a
our
shout,
choices.
yeah.
But
Have you got a pick for that race? We seem to be going quite big on those prices.
I hadn't really sort of picked one out just yet, if I'm honest. You know, I was going to sort of mull it over the next couple of days. I think possibly Magical, possibly. You know, his form last year was you know very consistent. Tailed off towards the end, and started with a 4th there over in France. But yeah, as I say, going on sort of the end of last season form, I think you could argue he's possibly got the best of those 4, really.
Like I say, the chances on that one.
Maybe you could possibly say just edged by Wild Illusion, but I wouldn't say there's a lot in it.
I think Lawrence goes when obviously if he went and goes and won again on Sunday, kind of backed up Wild Illusion's favouritism in some respect.
you can see
that's how-
7-2 you can get at the minute.
Yeah, I mean I haven't looked today since obviously that race, but you can only see that kind of shortening if the favourite or if the winner of the Guineas then goes on and wins a good race over in France.
Yeah, I think you'll see a lot of the prices sort of coming in ever so slightly once the money starts coming in. I think obviously it's still, you've got a few days left, so the money will start coming in during the week, but they're all backable. So everything's got a price at the minute, and so we've got our picks.
Yeah, I definitely think that one's a bit harder to call maybe than the than Derby itself possibly. On that note, we'll move on. We'll run through them, but not that really. There's a hell of a lot of I think debating to go on here. So obviously we've got Saxon Warrior, the favourite, which a lot of people would argue you can't look past.
No.
Roaring Lion seemed to get a bit of love yesterday on Twitter, didn't it? On the poll we did last night. Young Rascal in there at 10s, Haspour at 12s, Roosevelt at 12s. So, I think that one kind of speaks a bit more for itself, doesn't it? Really. I'll go first this time. I'll be hard to say you can see past Saxon Warrior, really.
And he'll get the ground he wants if the weather stays quite nice. And I can't. I'll struggle to see past it. I know a lot of people were saying Roaring Lion.
Roaring Lion bounced back last time.
Obviously,
so don't get me wrong, he's won a Dante this month.
Oh yeah, that was impressive. He definitely bounced back.
You possibly say he was beaten odds-on favourite for the trial for those races as well by, I think it was Masar that day, who I'll touch on. So I think that's where I'll look for some of the value.
Yeah.
But bounced back to form last time. Actually won cruising, absolutely cantering. So you can make a case. You can see why it's gone 5-1 from sort of 16s to 1s.
It was 9 lengths behind Masar that day, though.
Yeah.
And Roaring Lion's win, it just quickly, he did have to drop a group to win. Do you see what I mean? So after the Guineas performance, which was a good performance from Roaring Lion, to be honest with you, to mix it, with the big boys, so to speak, in that sort of race. I thought he ran a brilliant race.
I won't complain, I won a few.
No, exactly. So he done well. So whether to read a lot into his win after that is a tough one, because he's obviously had to drop.
No, I think
in some
maybe,
respect,
maybe
but
in fact just needed
capable horse.
Needed that run, needed that win, just to sort of get things
Build
going
up.
again.
Yeah.
Look, most people are going to be sweet on Saxon Warrior for obvious reasons. Unbeaten over this trip now as well. Beat Roaring Lion, who's obviously in that race and his second favourite. Who's a bit green that day, but got up eventually. So again, he's come on bundles for that. And beat Masar as well, easily in the 2000. So you look at its immediate competition. It's definitely the one to beat. But again, the problem you've got is that there's literally no value in that whatsoever.
Masar, well, when I was looking the other day, Masar's
14s to 1, third in the 2000 Guineas. Or I don't think had the best of runs that day. Perhaps a draw, and just got a little bit bumped around. But again,
someone was saying that they thought he got stuck in the dip a bit, where he got that dip. You know what I mean? He struggled a bit.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to see him win for Godolphin. That's the one that I'll pick out. At 14s, I think you've got to have an each way shout at that as well.
As you say, that probably drift a bit anyway, won't it? Or it'll change some way.
As I say, he won the Craven as well, beating Roaring Lion, as you said, by 9 lengths there. So there's no slack actually. Over this trip as well, I just think could bring out a little bit more.
Yeah, I was quite surprised just to not see him just a little bit higher in the odds there. That was all.
Again, I think you'll see money start coming for horses during the week. I can't imagine that's going to go out at 14.
No, it's such a big competitive, highly sought after classic. You'd be tough push to see 4 to 6 favourite. I mean, as well, going off what we were saying about the 1000 Guineas, where Lauren's obviously won. Then goes and backs up that form and gets another winner. So kind of everything else behind it got beat by a very proven horse. Saxon Warriors obviously won the Guineas, but if you look at those horses behind that, a lot of people were like, okay, well, they've been beat by a better horse. They'll go on to do something. That hasn't boosted Saxon Warriors' form, because James Garfield been beaten out of sight. Gustav Glint beaten out of sight. Ella Camp being beaten out of sight doesn't really give a stronghold for Saxon Warriors' form in that respect. All right, still won the race. Do you see what I mean? But if you're talking on, what's run behind, what's run in front of you, that's how a lot of flat racing works.
When you've seen a horse beat other class horses, and then they go and get beaten, you think, well how impressive was that?
You have to look
You've got to look at frank form, but at the end of the day, look, it's
take nothing away
6
from
to 4 on, so there's not much value in it. But the fact is, he's unbeaten over this trip, and that's in 4 runs, and he's beaten some top quality types in there. So justified favouritism. Do I think 4 to 6 is a little bit short? maybe. I can see that coming in because at that price, I'm not sure how many bets will actually be lumped on.
But you'd be surprised.
Again, if you're sweet on him, you've got, we just mentioned, you know, Cracksman as well. Double that up, you'll probably get at least, I don't know,
Evens.
maybe once they've all been smashed in. But you can make the case for a few. As I say, we've mentioned Masar as well. You've got Haggas in there as well for Derby World. Actually won the trial for this race as well. Last time out, it was at 16-1. So.
And obviously with Dettori being confirmed on that, which is always an eye opener. Because the man loves a classic.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's an eye opener.
Beating Delano Roosevelt was also in that race as well. So
Leopardstown race, that one.
Bit of a mystery where you know how it won. But again, if you're looking for a bit of value at 16s, you could have got 50-1 before he won that race.
Yeah, that was only back in May, wasn't it?
50-1 before that.
There's a lot of talk about the Young Rascal.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of people on social media. I mean,
what's on social media? There's got to be something in it, then.
Yeah, it has to like if it's written in the middle.
Yeah.
No, it's.
Well, he's favourite for in both races.
Yeah.
Well, Class 1 and a Class 3.
I mean, it's only 2 for 2, but it is obviously stepping up. Yeah, I was going to say stepping up a hell of a level. But then again, at some point, these horses have to do that anyway. You know, if they're that good,
once they progress,
they will have to. You know,
he won a Class 1 by about half a length, and he won the lesser class. He won by about 5 lengths, which obviously you'd expect.
So he's capable.
Yeah, I mean, I think the horse called DXB, which Mark Johnson's horse, which I've had a lot of money. Over the last few months.
I believe at some point in the Derby, anyway.
But some of them it's going to be a little bit of a mystery. But at backable each way prices, it's worth a go.
Unless Saxon Warrior drifts reasonably, you have to start looking at some decent each way money on there, because it's just, you know, backing a favourite at that price is such a high risk for low profit.
I don't think it's worth doing. No, so if you're going to put it in a couple of doubles or trebles, then by all means. But as I say, he's running against some classy types this time around. We've more often than not seen shocks in these kinds of races over the years. So I don't think it'll be a massive surprise if he does get beat, but it will take something classy to do it. I think Roaring Lion and Masar are probably the two in there that have got that capability on the day. But we'll see.
Well, on the subject of shocks and tying into this race as well, Night to Behold, obviously we were at Lingfield for the Derby trials, where we saw him. Bolton's not quite the right word, but he won and he deserved his win, King Scott, that day. But I think we're all 100% in agreement. They just let him go.
That was Kew Gardens that he beat that day.
Yes, he did. Yes, Kew Gardens. Yeah.
Again, they did just. Again, it was yesterday. Lancaster Bomber ran an absolute storm. But again, don't get.
That's not the biggest shock. You know, I was listening when Lancaster Bomber ran in the week. Didn't it? Sandown. What was what?
I'm not too sure he ran at Sandown. He ran in the week though.
Places, literally places, everywhere he goes.
Seconds.
Again, it's
Always the bridesmaid.
Another horse that goes here, there, and everywhere, travels the globe, and always runs massive races. So I was thrilled actually to see him win, because he's been used over the years as like a hold-up horse for the likes of like the O'Brien's battalion, if you like, so Order of St George and a few others, etc. Used as a hold-up just to sort of make way for them, but always just runs a hell of It reminds me of sort of like team rules in F1. Where you know Lewis Hamilton sits behind, I don't know,
whoever it is,
Hulkenberg is his teammate, whoever it was, sits behind and then 2 laps out, right, get out of his way, let him go through. That's how Lancaster Bomber gets used. That's probably a terrible analogy, but you see what I mean by it. So yeah, really pleased. And
just felt like poor tactics again.
Don't let a horse like that go off. They're not slouches, and you let them go off like that, and you expect to reel them in, but you give yourself work to do.
From watching the race, you know, I had a bet on the race, so you know, I lost out. But you know, from watching that race, you see him sort of turn from home, and he's already got a lead, and you thought, well, you're now asking a horse that you know, to go twice as early as you would normally. No wonder they tried and just failed, because they were spent false by
again. You're asking horses that are generally known for being out in front to go and pass something. You know, it's not just down to sheer you're quicker, you're the better horse on the day. They don't want to go past. They won't
They're
go
not
past.
going.
And you can't give horses like that a lead, especially something in the O'Brien yard. So
cracking race, great fun, great for the fans that race.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think there would be plenty of people that have been on Lancaster Bomber, sheerly
100%
looking at the form.
So anyway, we've gone completely off what I was actually talking about. Like I say, Night to Behold. I just think there's been a bit of talk about him on the internet. ITV did a piece about him. I'm not knocking him, and fair play to the connections and everybody, but did that sort of result there sort of glorify the result? Was it really? Were they lucky? Is what I'm saying. Have we read a bit too much into it and did sort of like ITV getting their teeth into something that wasn't really there? Do you know what I mean?
Possibly. I mean, he won before that as well, but in much weaker company, hugely. So this is a massive step up. But as long as he's got wins under the belt. I don't think. Unfortunately, the Kew Gardens thing at Lingfield, people got sucked into the Ryan Moore aspect of it, and we've been to Lingfield on many occasions, literally every year. I think Ryan Moore's going to have 3 or 4 and has none. So these horses aren't exactly what people think they are. They're just getting sucked into the O'Brien and Moore combination. But form-wise, won the last 2, goes in as well as you can, and definitely in with a shout maybe.
Just quickly before we move on, you got the also on the Saturday. You got the 5 furlong handicap, the Dash, as it's called.
All right.
And it's got to be an interesting race because that's just a battalion charge, isn't it? Really, there's not going to be much.
What day's that?
The Saturday. I was just looking at that. You got like the likes of Moment of Madness, Lancelot Delac, Caspian Prince. I quite like that Desert Law, if I'm honest, at 14s. But that's just one of those. That's quite an exciting race. It's 5 furlongs. The second those gates open, it is just a mad dash. Isn't it really? And in the handicapper race, in a
big field as
well.
In
a huge field again, not all confirmed, but you're looking at it. You got 28 plus 30 or plus. Obviously, that's not going to be the case come the day. I don't think the track's that wide, but that will still be one hell of a good race. That
blimey, let's just keep going.
Do you see what I mean? Obviously, at the moment, it's very. But I think. I was just picking it out because it's a handicap race. We talk about the listed and the group racing all the time. You've got the handicap races. Desert Law, for me at 14s, running off 8-12. Obviously if it runs. Depending.
Well, looking at the odds though, it doesn't look like anyone can really split one at the moment.
No, exactly. It's a tough one.
It's sort of, pinning in a match sort of time.
If I was going to pick one up, I'd probably back Edward Lewis. Came 5th last time out in at York, behind the likes of Mr. Lupton. Who we always back, and for some reason on that day didn't. I actually went for El Astronauti, who came 2nd, literally just
it's a good race as well,
just
wasn't it?
heading on the line over the same trip as well. It's 5 furlongs, an absolute sprint. But if I was picking one out, Edward Lewis.
That's just one of those. You look at it, and everyone can talk about the listed races and your group ones. Your group, your top horses. You've got those handicap races in there where. That's where your price is. That's where if you pick one out,
you can do 2 or 3 and you're still up.
And you still have a good. You got Boom the Groom in there, all right. A very inconsistent horse in some respect, but it's a horse that a lot of people hold in high regards. At the moment, 9-1. Think favourite.
I just saw 10s, but 9s. Maybe it's being backed. Was 14s at one point.
I'd see it along that sort of line, but that's one of those races where it's over in a flash. But if you're there, you feel the earth move because they're all. Do you know what I mean? It's not like a 1 mile.
Sounds like me.
Yeah, it's not one of those.
I really flash, but the earth does move.
But that's one of those races that it's not like your distances where obviously some are tailed off and stuff like that. They're all there.
And
if one can get away,
no guts, no glory kind of race.
It's one of those you've got to get lucky. You've got to have a hell of a bit of luck. You've got to find a gap. Very often not, those gaps are closed very, very quickly. If you're lucky to get 2 and you've got the speed under you, then you're likely to win. But it's one of those you will see. You can't even say it'll be a shock because you just have no clue. Something's got to emerge from that.
Value in that race, though. But
that's the sort of race where one of your mates who knows nothing at racing whatsoever
backs at 25-1 and you hate him for
picks it because I had a girlfriend in school with the same name.
Something like that.
I just thought I'd bring that one up because
well, I'd say it'd be an interesting one to watch as well, wouldn't it?
Some good racing over the 2 days, definitely.
So that's really what we've got to talk about this week, isn't it? Really, in all honesty, keep an eye on Twitter and stuff like that because obviously we'll tweets and Facebook and stuff like that. Well, you know, any news that we hear, anyone non-runners and stuff like that, we'll try and get
We've got
up
a few
there.
polls going as well.
We love a poll at the moment.
Yeah, get involved in the poll for.
We did one for the
Cracksman
Derby, didn't we? And
yeah.
it looks like Roaring Lion is the out and out pick of Twitter.
Well,
so
I think
far.
I looked this
Still
morning.
going,
That's
isn't it?
changed a bit. Now it's leveled. The field's leveled a little bit now. I think when I last looked this morning, a bit more love come back in for Saxon Warrior. So.
Get involved in that one.
Yeah, get involved in that. I suppose the only other piece of business really is we've managed to get sort of all of Caroline's work up there now on the website. So not just the portraits, there's the flat racing prints as well. Some really good ones as well, and same with the jump racing prints as well. So yeah, get on there and have a look and treat yourself.
Yeah,
Treat someone else.
Oh yeah, or treat someone else. Yeah. And yeah, so we'll be back again, another video in a week's time, and looking at Ascot and things like that, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Take care, and we'll see you again next time.
Lovely.